I've never actually told this story. And then I saw comments online, and so I think it really left a mark on me. When I was in school, I was like a normal first grader and I wanted to have friends, but I didn't know how to make friends. I would just act like I was close to everybody, and they would be like, she's so weird.
There's something that you can't wait to be allowed to do in your 20s.
That I wanted to go clubbing. Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh. Paranormal activity? กลัวมากไม่น่ามีอะไรค่ะทุกคน
Oh, we heard you are an army?
During my training process, I think BTS played a huge part in getting me through it.
If you have to pick one.
If I have to pick one, I think it would be either I was telling myself like, I'm the worst, I'm terrible, I need to get better. But now my mindset has changed. I get very proud of myself. I don't know if I can say that, I'm kind of shy, but I feel so proud of myself that I've come this far.
This is Comedy Featuring. My name is Vic and welcome to the show. Today we're talking to someone who's very sweet, very lively, and I can feel her positive energy like 3 feet from me right now, exuding, and it's a good thing. I really like this vibe. And she's someone who started working and appearing in public from a very young age. So, of course, she got successful very early too. And I think for a lot of people, that's something they want in life. It sounds wonderful, right? Fame, money. But we all know that there's always a price to pay because the amount of expectations and pressure under all these shiny exterior, it's not always told. So I think I'm going to ask her about that today too. To me, I think it's a huge achievement for her to make it this far with a very healthy mental being. But that's our perception. We really need to ask her to know what's really going on the inside. So let's go talk to her today. Ali Athiraya Nidipon. Hi.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ Thank you for being here and joining us at the Standard Candy.
Thank you for having me. You know, Comedy D is actually the top shows I want to be on.
Wow.
I've always wanted to be on this show.
It's our honor.
Thank you. It's so cool to
Thank
be
you
here.
so much. Wow.
I made it.
Okay. All right. So I really love the energy. Okay. So first things first. Your dad.
Yes.
Please tell him that I'm a huge fan of his.
Really? Okay, I'll let him know.
Of course, yeah.
Know.
I'm a 90s kid.
Oh, yes.
Wait, I was already in my 20s in the 90s.
It's okay.
So I used to be a radio DJ and your dad's songs are always my favorite.
Of course.
Okay, and I don't think I ever had an interview with your dad before, which I could have, but it's okay because right now I'm talking to his daughter.
Yeah, you're here with a mini version of him.
Mini version of him. Okay, so do people say that you look a lot or have a lot in common with your dad?
When I was younger, people would say I look like my dad. But once I grew older, people started saying I look like my mom. So hopefully I look like a mixture.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It is a good thing,
I look
right?
like both of them. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay. All right. So we're so used to seeing you on screens, all the shows that you went on from your music videos. And from, when I say from the show that you went on, a lot of people might think of, the old shows that you appeared as a kid, like a small girl.
Yeah. Oh, there's one really viral video of me when I was a little girl. If I say it, I think everyone would have seen it before.
Yeah.
It's the one where I have bangs and I'm wearing a blazer. I've never seen that video.
Well, bangs and blazer.
It was the look back then, but I've actually never clicked onto that video. I'm so scared to watch that video because back then, people weren't very accepting of how I was as a kid.
Yeah.
I think it's because like I was very outgoing and I didn't really know like how to act to elders yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know like I thought everyone was my friend, so I was super talkative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw comments online, and so I think it really like left a mark on me. Yeah.
And it kind of changed you like internally
It
somehow.
kinda did. Yeah, I think it made me grow a lot, like with my mindset
A lot
and everything.
sooner than you would have.
Yeah.
Because
So-
all those comments. At the time, did you think that, oh, these people are mean or?
I think how old was I when I saw those comments? I think it was like maybe 7 or 8.
That's
I was
way
in like
too
first
young.
grade, and I only
Yeah.
I only learned how to read Thai like a few years before that, and then I read those comments and I was like, wow. Do I know these people? Like, why do they know so much about me? Like, how could they say such things about me, even though they don't know me? So my mom had to go through like a whole talk with me on how
Yeah.
online people do.
What did she tell you?
She just told me that like, just do you. You know yourself the best. You don't have to focus on what other people think of you. If you're yourself and your actions don't affect others negatively, then
Yeah.
you shouldn't focus on them too much.
But of course, as a 7-year-old, it might have been so hard to just tune
so
out all those.
young.
Oh, don't listen to them. But it's not that easy to do.
I think it was really hard for me because I had to go to school. And like I was really, really scared that friends at school would find those articles about me and look at those comments because when I was in school, I was like a normal first grader and I wanted to have friends, but I didn't know how to make friends. And so I had this weird like friend making moment where I would just act like I was close to everybody and they would be like, she's so weird. And I only knew that now because like I'm an only child, so I don't really understand how making friends work and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you learn it a hard way.
A hard way when I
How
was
to,
7 years
like,
old.
how to adult at the age of 7.
I was quite young.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have to be an adult at a very young age in order to like go through all this?
I think I had to find like another persona.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there was Ali in everybody's normal daily life where I'm just 100% me, which is like quite an introverted girl where she's always in her own world. And then there's Ali where you see me on the screen and then I'm very happy, very สดใส and always smiling.
Yeah. And if you had to cope harder, maybe you'll end up with like the personality disorder. That's how it happened too, you know, like people try to cope with things that they cannot at the time, but you did it beautifully and congratulations in growing up. Well, speaking of growing up, this is your last year as a teenager, am I right?
Yeah, I'm turning 20 in a few months.
Next March, right?
That's so crazy though. I still feel like I'm 12 sometimes.
So you're entering, like, whether you like it or not, you're entering your 20s next year. So
I don't think
is it like, oh, I can't wait. Please happen sooner or God, I'm old.
I think I'm in between. Like I want to enter my 20s, but I'm also like, will it be any different? Because like I feel like ever since I debuted, I was 15 and now I'm 19 and I don't really feel a big difference in like myself as a whole, but with my mental health, I've grown a lot. Like with my mindset and how I cope with negativity in my life, I've grown a lot. But other than that, I feel like I'm still Ali that everybody knows.
Or maybe there's something that you can't wait to do or be allowed to do in your 20s?
You know, I actually came on like a quick interview with Community. And I answered that I wanted to go clubbing. Well, honestly speaking, I want to try to go clubbing because, you know, it's 20 is the legal age, so I might as well go and like experience it, but I don't think I'll be that much into clubbing.
I remember that. That's why I'm asking.
Here. Well, I want to try because like my
So what have you heard about clubbing?
My friends that turned 20, like my 2003 friends, they've all said that it's just like a whole nother world. And I'm like, really? Is it a whole nother world?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be like talkative or like I'll just fall asleep instantly, or I'll like throw up. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I hope I don't throw up. It's gonna be very smelly for everyone else.
Yeah, it would. But
Yeah.
you can't wait to find out anyway, right? Yeah.
I might go clubbing like once. You might see me like only once though.
Yeah.
Just to know if I like it or not. And
Have
if
you
I like
talked it over with your parents? Like, am I allowed to go clubbing when
I have.
Okay.
I think my dad would want me to go. I think, but just as long as I tell him and my mom.
Okay.
And my mom is like okay with me going as long as she knows where I am and like what time I'll be coming back home and everything. So I think my parents are very chill, but chill to a good amount.
Okay.
They're not super like, yeah, go.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
a good thing.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be too chill about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not supposed to be.
No. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll find out next year.
Next year, you might
if
see
she loves
me.
clubbing. Yeah.
You might see me one time or you might see me several times.
Yeah. Anything else? Because you know what, I was thinking about like things that you have to be like old enough to do. Like for example, for other people, maybe if you reach a certain age, their parents would let them like travel abroad or something like that. But you have already done that. Like, yeah, you travel abroad for like so many times. You even live, get trained, and work in Korea.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I've never done though is like travel abroad with friends, only with friends. Cause
Okay.
like I've only gone for like training, so I was under like a very strict living system.
I see.
But I've never been abroad with just like a friend and like live
Like
on
fun.
survival mode. Yeah, like no fun yet.
Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe when I'm like 20 something, my mom and my dad will let me go. Maybe.
พร้อมยกมือขึ้นพนม
หรือว่าต่างจังหวัดก็ได้นะ
ต่างจังหวัดก็ได้นะก็เอา
Anywhere.
Yeah. Just small steps maybe.
Yeah, small steps.
Yeah. ต่างจังหวัด first and then maybe like anywhere else.
Yeah, maybe like across the globe.
In France. Another thing that people might have to wait until a certain age is being sexy. Like, because like, you debut at 15, of course,
yeah.
it's not like, you know, the sexy vibe full stream.
Yeah.
But now that you're about to be 20 and we have like glimpse into you being sexy too, and have you also had to talk that over with your parents? Like, am I allowed to be sexy too?
Honestly, I don't think my parents would be comfortable with me talking about that to them. They'd probably be weirded out a little bit. Because, like, my parents are very understanding with my work. They're just like, yeah, you do you. Because they really trust me with my, like, taste in, like, fashion and music and
Yeah.
everything. But
Or your
honest-
judgment, like, I'm going to do this, but not that. Okay.
Because like ever since I was young, I would always tell my parents like, this is what I'll do, but this is what I wouldn't do. And then they're like, okay, we trust you.
Good.
Yeah, but even though now like I'm stepping into that realm a little bit, people don't see me as sexy at all. I've never heard anyone say it at all. Maybe it's my face. Maybe I look very young. Or maybe it's my like personality. But even though I wear a few, you know, outfits, special outfits, people are still like, oh, น่ารักมากค่ะ and I'm like, okay, let's go with that. That's good.
จ
That's
ริงๆแล้ว
good.
ข้างในคิดยังไง What were you thinking? What were going through your mind? Like, stop saying I'm cute. Say I'm hot. Or what?
Well, sometimes I want to be hot, but I guess it's just not for me. So I've started to accept that I'm not hot.
And you
I'll just be
still
cute.
get teased a lot from พี่ๆทั้งหลาย
ใช่ค่ะ ว่าแบบว่าน้องอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like I want to be everybody's น้อง to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like I feel very very great when people are like โอ้ยเอ็นดูน้องจังแบบเห็นมาตั้งแต่เด็กอะไรอ
มี
ย่างเงี้ย
มักเน่ vibe ตลอดไป
มักเน่ปะ
vibe ตลอดไป
มักเน่ปะ I want to know that like will I have this มักเน่ vibe until I'm 80? Will I still be like น้องเอลีน่าเอ็นดูจังเลยค่ะ with like a my towel in my hand?
But of course you plan to like your songs, right? Your new songs. Let's talk about that. Or the future songs of yours. You might want to explore into the sexier vibe or image. Yeah. So how do you plan about that?
Well, with ZigZag, like my most recent release, I think I briefed Peter Toy with my song.
Your producer?
My producer. I briefed him that I wanted like a Sasa Son Son
ซา
concept.
ซาซนซน
Yeah, and I think Sasa Son Son is like where I am.
Yep.
Like, and I think it's me. Like, I'm not totally sexy. I'm not hot. And I'm not super cute. I'm like Sasa Son Son. I'm like, woohoo.
I like that. That's a good brief for a producer to work from.
Yeah, and also with like my stylist and everything and my team, I always tell them like หนูอยากเท่หรือไม่ก็หนูอยากซ่าค่ะพี่ That's my like brief for everything.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you think it turned out, ZigZag?
I think it turned out exactly like how I briefed everyone. I got to be Sasa Son Son. And I got to be Te. And like, I got to be me. I think it's the most me I felt in a while.
That's always a good feelings, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is me. This is like up my alley.
Yeah, because Up My Alley.
Up my alley. Oh, I didn't even intend that.
Wait, that should be my album name, Up My Alley.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the name. Yeah, but like normally with my work, there's been a few times, like honestly speaking, like for anyone that doesn't know how the industry works, sometimes the artist doesn't get to be themselves 100% all the time. Sometimes it's like 80% or less or more. Paranormal activity.
Paranormal activity.
กลัวมากไม่น่ามีอะไรค่ะทุกคน Anyways, yeah, so with this release I'm very very proud because I'm finally like where I want to be and who I really really want to be and like how I want people to see me as well.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So speaking of the toy,
Yes.
So what is it like working with him and having you as a producer?
He is so cool. He's like a genius. I think he is a genius. Because like I spoke to him once about ZigZag during like the production process. I just briefed him with the keywords Sasa Son Son อะไรก็ได้ที่พี่คิดว่าหนูควรจะเป็นนะคะ And then he came up with this whole song.
He just got it.
He just got it. And I think we clicked maybe because I'm very bad at explaining things. Like I'm the worst at explaining things.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a klang of like a klang. I don't have a klang of like
like words
vocabulary.
and adjectives.
No, I have none of that. It's just like random words that pop up into my head. So I think I always speak from my heart. So like sometimes I don't have the words. I only have an image. So I describe that image, but I'm also not the best at describing things. So I'm just like giving people random words and they have to figure me out. But Pitar really got me. So
But I think that could be like one of the best ways to work. I mean, like artistically too.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you don't need big words. You just need people with the same frequency.
Yes. I realized that like having my own team that understands me and everyone that's on the same page as me and like we all get each other and we all have the same image of like where we want to head to, and it's really really great to work with like such a positive team and like having the same work ethic and everything.
How did you get so lucky? Because a lot of people want that but they can never get that.
I think it's all up to like communication. Yeah, and I speak a lot with Akung as well. And we talk openly about like where I really want to go.
Yeah, Akung from 411.
Yes, he's my CEO.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot. Like I've opened up to him many times about like how I actually feel. And like I've come like close to tears so many times just sitting there talking to him, and so like he's a very good advisor.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
All right. So I've mentioned before about the like expectations and pressure, all those, and a lot of people might say like showbiz kids, like people understand that they enter the business from a very young age, and they have to go through all this stuff that grown-ups go through, and it's already hard for grown-ups to go through all those. But a kid, kids, showbiz kids, and so they they're under like major scrutiny, and people keep close eyes on them and people kind of keep comparing them like from like each individuals or like your last word is better and now you suck and stuff like that and how do you go through all that and just keep yourself sane?
That's a very good question.
Are you sane? You were sane, I think.
You know what? There was a moment, like after I debuted, maybe when I was 16, because 15 was like my year of blurriness. Like it was my debut year, COVID hit, and like I didn't really get to do much because of COVID. And then after that, when everything started coming back again, and I got to work in the industry like full time for real, I was like not myself at all. I feel like I had to be someone else, and I feel like if I was someone else, people would like me better. Because like when I was myself, I would constantly get hate comments, negative comments about who I was. Like, แอลลี่แบบพูดจาแบบน่ารำคาญ or like my Thai is so bad. Because like back then I was way more fluent in English than I was in Thai. And like stuff about my physical appearance. There were so many things that I just woke up every day like saying to myself that I wanted to be someone else. Yeah,
but the haters will hate.
Yeah, so
I mean, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, they'll find a way to hate you even more.
But
and in the different ways, there's genius like that.
Yeah, there's always going to be people that, you know, don't like you, but it's okay. I feel like I've grown to understand them more. During that time where I was not very sane, I was like so sad. Whenever I went to work, I just was so off. I felt like I didn't belong at all.
Okay.
But after that, once I surrounded myself with people that loved me and truly wanted the best for me, and I started focusing more on my fans and my work and the quality of my work and trying to improve myself. I think like once I saw myself improving in the way I wanted to, I was really, really happy. And so I was like, yeah, like why would I focus on other people's, you know, opinions about me when they're not the ones that are here doing all the hard work? I think it's just they have an image of me that they see and they judge me from 3 seconds out of their day. And like I don't want to let them ruin my whole year or my whole life just with their like 3 seconds of judgment. So I've grown to like let it go.
That is so good. I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, where you're going, and what do you want out of life, and you're on your track, you should be very happy.
Yeah,
and you have a lot of people who love you, right?
Yeah, I think like when I meet people in the industry, like รุ่นพี่ in the industry, and also เพื่อนๆ like when I get to make friends, it's such a nice feeling to like talk to people that are on the same boat as you. Because now, after I got out of my shy era, I was very shy back then, so I didn't have that many industry friends. But now, since I have a few more, hopefully they'll let me call them my friends. But now, since I have a bit more, I talk to them about my day. And, you know, they tell me about their hardships that they go through. I open up to them as well.
Yeah.
So it's like we grow together as artists. And I have people that understand me next to me that are the same age as me. So I feel very lucky to have like a good family, good friends.
That's very nice. That's plenty, I mean, for a life. Yeah. And how about the pressure to perform well? Like the quality of your work and, you know, have I hit the mark that I set for myself? Am I good enough? Even from my own perspective, are you critical of yourself?
Very. I'm very critical of myself. I used to like judge my work like down to the millisecond. Because I was so obsessed with like just watching the same thing over and over again. And like if my facial expression was off, I would practice like how I would, you know, make a different facial expression. Because I didn't like how that angle turned out.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want people to take a picture of me in that angle. So I would have to change my face so they could get a good picture of me.
Yeah.
It was like a very weird process of trying to find myself.
Right.
I was, you know, I was very critical of my work. I think now I'm more chill but not in the way that I don't care at all. I care a lot. I want the quality to improve every time. I want people to know that I put a lot of time and effort and judgment into my work. That's why it takes so long for me to come out with a song.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't care, but because I do care a lot, that's why I am so attentive to all the details, but not to the point that it could get toxic for your own mind.
I think I found the good balance between being too attentive and being like too little, like not caring at all. So I'm in between where I'm myself and I look at the quality, like only the quality to see if I've improved from my last song. And honestly, I think I'm like a perfectionist. So,
Are you? Or are
yeah, I am.
Okay.
So I care a lot about like, I want everything to be close to perfect in my eyes. And also a lot of my team members are also perfectionists. So we work together and we're like, let's see, are there any details, like mistakes in here?
And nobody's stopping anybody else.
No,
like,
we're all
okay,
like-
let's go. Like full speed on being perfect, everybody.
Yeah, like my team members, like with the ZiGZaG music video, like we were texting in the group chat, like อลี่อยากแก้ตรงไหนไหมแบบเราจะต้องลบรอยที่พื้นไหมอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
รอยที่พื้นด้วย
Yeah, but honestly,
Okay.
like when I watched it, the first time I didn't notice the Lottie Poon. Second time, once it was mentioned, I was like, yeah, I can see it too.
Is it like what, a stain? Like
Yeah, it was a
some
stain.
sort of stain on,
It was a stain.
on the floor?
Yeah, on the floor.
I thought like on your face or on your clothes or
No,
something,
it was
and
just-
that could be very understandable if you want to fix that.
No, it's on
But
the
it's
floor.
like on the floor somewhere.
It was on the floor that I was standing on. So
Okay.
yeah, honestly though, a lot of people ask me why I come back only twice a year. This is why. I really want my work to be as close to perfect as it can be.
Okay.
Not in a toxic
Alright.
way. Just
Okay.
I just love what I do to the point that
Yeah.
it's gonna last forever. So I want like in 70 years when people watch back, I hope they still think it's quality work.
Yeah. So I imagine a lot of people who's watching this right now who are like you, like, yes, go girl.
Hi.
Like, because people would say all the time, like, you shouldn't be like a perfectionist. That would hurt your mind. That would stop you from keeping yourself sane and all those stuff. And they would like, okay, I can see your point, but this is who I am. And am I supposed to change who I am, even though it's a perfectionism in me? What do you think? Because I don't think you're gonna like completely change yourself from being perfectionist.
I think for me, what I've always believed in is like there is always gonna be a better you. You're gonna grow every day. Like if I set my limitations to just, oh, this is the best I can get, I don't think I'll be going anywhere with that. So ever since How to Love, I think during How to Love, I was too strict on myself, way too strict on myself. I was telling myself like, I'm the worst, I'm terrible, I need to get better. But now my mindset has changed. My vocabulary has changed. My, encouragement system has changed as well. I tell myself that tomorrow will be better. My performance tomorrow will be better because I've learned from my mistakes like today.
So that's growth mindset.
Yeah,
It sounds a lot better.
It sounds a lot better than before.
But I really like that too, that the belief that you can always do better. Yeah, and as long as you can still enjoy every minute of what you're doing, I think that's healthy.
Because like when I see myself improve, like sometimes I watch comparison videos of my most recent How to Love performance and my first How to Love performance. I get very proud of myself. I don't know if I can say that. I'm kind of shy. But like I feel so proud of myself that I've come this far. Like from that 15-year-old that had no self-confidence whatsoever and like a very insecure girl that was just very closed off to the world. And now I'm very open and I'm willing to talk about these things that, are very secretive to me. Yeah, but now I want to share these stories to people because I feel like other girls go through the same thing as well, maybe in
Yeah.
different ways, but we all go through the same growth process, I think.
Right. Okay. And d- did you get all these like very serious and very um, adamant of getting the best work out of whatever you do from your training years in Korea? Because it does look that way to all those K-pop idols too. They have to nail the performance and all the moves and stuff like that.
I definitely got it from my trainee days, but I was also a bit of a perfectionist during my like elementary school years and middle school years. Because in my schoolwork, I would make sure that my handwriting was like perfect.
Oh.
My handwriting had to be perfect. My
Yeah.
notes had to be colorful and decorated. I would have to draw flowers at the top. And
Yeah.
I think that's where it started. But during my training years, that's where it really took off to another level because of the comments I got from my trainers and my teachers. But looking back now, they were the ones who pushed me to be here today. And their comments are still the ones that are pushing me to grow more and more. Because I can still remember every comment they've ever told me. มันฝังใจมาก
But in a good way, not like in a scarring way.
It was a traumatizing yet beautiful moment.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. Something could be traumatizing
Yeah.
and yet beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
It depends on the way you look at it, I guess.
Because during the time, like during the moment, it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Because like my trainer that I wanted, like my teacher, of course, I would want them to be proud of me. And like knowing that I disappointed them was so sad for me as well.
Yeah.
But now looking back, it's beautiful because their words still help me till this day.
Got you here.
And even though I'm not learning with them anymore because of the distance, but they're still helping me. So I feel very thankful to them.
Yeah, I think they're like intentionally trying to like train
I
you
think so
to
too.
cope
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
harsh comments
Yes.
because this is what you're gonna get in the future.
Yeah,
So
that's
get
what they
used to
told me.
this.
Yeah, that's what they told me as well. Because they were like, if you can't handle my comments, you're not going to be able to handle the world's comments. So I was like, ooh, mysterious. Okay.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
that's true.
Just kidding. Please don't bring it on.
Okay. Yeah, just be kind to her, please.
Yeah,
just
ขอบคุณค่ะ
be kind to each other in general. Yeah, I don't get either why do those haters have to be so hateful and spit out all these like super mean words.
I believe it's their way of coping with negativity. I think it's the negativity that they have that they don't know where to put it.
Yeah.
They might have to put it on someone that they feel like they know because from the media and everything. So I always say that I'm thankful they put it on me. I would rather they put it on me than someone that can't cope with negativity. So thank you, but no thank you.
But that's such a nice way to
Keep it calm.
think about it. Yeah. But so how do you handle or cope with negativities? Maybe they got some tips out of this? Like
I think I had to find like a core where I could attach myself to. Like it's a very weird way of handling it, but I try to move my attention to like something else.
okay.
So before, when I got negative comments, I would close myself off from everyone because I felt embarrassed that other people could see these comments that I was getting. I was embarrassed to my family members because they share the same last name as me. I didn't want them to, get the hate, or I didn't want my family members to feel like, oh, we're so disappointed in you because like people are hating on you. Whatever, that was my mindset at the time. Or I didn't want my friends to feel like they couldn't be friends with me because of how people in public perceived me. Like, oh, Allie's like that, Allie's like this.
Yeah.
And so I closed myself off completely. But now once I've opened up to my friends about these comments, I let them know that I'm very upset. I let them know that I'm sad. And they let me know that they won't leave my side just because of somebody that doesn't know me, like some random person's comments. It just it's like a way for me to feel better about the situation. Yeah, it's kind of like ยึดเหนี่ยวจิตใจอะค่ะ like a core place where I can hold on to, like a railing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but I can understand those people who never open up about this because they might feel like they're dumping negativity on their friends.
Yes.
But from what you just told us, it's not like that. It not necessarily the dumping negativity to one another, but it's like sharing and just letting them in. Yeah.
I think I'm very lucky to have such great friends that accept me and allow me to open up to them because I've gone through so many times where I felt like I can't share my problems with anyone. Nobody's willing to listen to me. I've gone through many moments where I felt like I was all alone. But finally when I looked around me and I saw the people that supported me, my family and my friends, and like my friends since first grade, and they finally let me know that like they really do know who I am and they enjoy having me in their life. I think that's where my turning point was in how I perceive this whole media thing. And so I finally realized that social media isn't everything. Yeah, I want everyone to know that as well. For anyone that's watching, social media isn't everything.
So how active are you on social media and how do you like handle things?
I try not to be too active now. I've limited my screen time. I tried, couldn't do it though.
No. Okay.
But mostly I'm on Instagram because nothing really happens on there. I think it's just like I share my photos. People are so nice about it. So thank you to everyone who's super nice about my photos.
Pretty safe and wholesome over there.
Yeah, like I get a lot of encouragement from my Instagram. It's like one of my safe spots. But with Twitter and TikTok, I don't really go on there as much anymore. I only go on my main Twitter. I used to have an eklum to like look at what people were saying about me and everything. Got very toxic. I had to delete that account. And so now I only have my main account where I see my fan club's tweets and I only see my labels tweets. And then that's it. I don't really want to look at anything other than that. And TikTok, I just look at my For You page. I don't search for my name. I don't search for anything anymore.
That's very healthy. I like it. Because people might always blame social media for being bad guys, right? But they can't hurt us if you don't let them. You have to like take control of whatever you want to let into your space or what you want to like you stay outside. Right. That's a very good thing, but not always easy to do.
It's not easy to do. I totally understand people that try to put a timer on their screen times. It's not easy to do. I tried to put a timer and then I just snoozed that timer. Like I didn't care about it. I was like, who are you to tell me to get off my phone? Like it was me 15 minutes ago setting this timer and I'm like, who was that? Whatever. But so I just tried to limit like what I see. I try to only see the positives. And if I stumble across a negative comment, I'll read it. I'll try to enjoy it. I'll take it to heart if it's constructive criticism. If it's not, I'll just let it go. And I'll try to forget about it. And I'll just think of it as I'm helping them get on with their day. And I just hope them... Like I just wish them to have a good day as well.
And maybe they can find other way to cope with negativities in life.
Hopefully.
Okay, I want to talk about you more a little bit about your training in Korea or your work in Korea. So you kind of go back and forth between Thailand and Korea too. And I want to know what else did you get out of your like living and training in Korea? But definitely your first single because you collaborated with Gray, right?
Woo! I got my
such
first
a great
single.
song.
Thank you so much.
So how did that happen? Tell us.
I auditioned to 4-on-1. I heard that Agung was gonna open up his own label, and I was like, okay, I'll try it out. Because I had a few plans to audition to other labels, but since this one was like an invitation to like, hey, you want to come? So I was like, okay, I'll just try. And this is like my first trial. If it doesn't go well, I'll just get on with my life and maybe I'll audition to other places. But he was like, okay, you have the potential, but we want to send you to Korea to do another audition. So I'm like, whoa, many audition processes. Many things for me to pass. But I went to Korea for my second audition. And I've never actually told this story. But during my first audition in Korea, I was singing and I got so nervous that I started turning around. And finally, at the end of the song, I just realized that my back was turned to the mentors. Yeah.
Without you knowing it?
Without me knowing, I was just like that, and then suddenly I was facing the back, and then I opened my eyes again, and then I was facing like a black wall, and I was like,
Where
did
am
everyone
I?
go? Yeah.
Was it because you were so in the zone?
No, I was nervous.
Okay, all right.
I was shaking as well, so my feet couldn't like stay flat on the floor. I was shaking and I was turning
Maybe they
around.
thought it was a move, like that's her move.
I think they were like, oh God, because my teacher told me that he was very surprised at how I had to turn around.
Okay.
And he was like, whoa, what is this girl doing?
Okay.
But maybe that was an eye-catching moment for them.
Because you got it.
Yeah, but I don't know how I got it. I think it was like, I was very in the zone, but I was also very nervous. I finally got through it. And like for my dance, I was way more confident with my dance than my singing because prior to that, I had like one dance lesson for this audition.
Okay.
And so I was more confident with the choreo than I was with my vocal song. And so with my dance, I was able to show them, you know, my facial expressions and my moves. Yeah. I don't know how I got through that. I would never want to audition ever again because my experience was so scary. Everyone was staring at me like, from their chairs, just like,
wow, it's like the worst nightmare for an introvert.
Yes.
Like everybody's staring at us.
And like a 14.
That's the worst.
I was 13. Yeah, a 13-year-old. And also like nobody spoke English at all. Nobody spoke Thai. They would comment on me with Korean and then it would get translated to me. So during the translation process, I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? It was super scary.
Wow. Yeah, nerve-wracking, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shaky.
Right.
It was a shaky process.
But it was not so. Your first single with Gray, the collaboration with Gray, the artist, that was not your only collaboration because you just had another collaboration with Jin, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, tell us about that one.
So it was a special collaboration. We just did like a little remix and like a collab on his song Blue Butterflies.
Yeah.
Super viral on TikTok. I think everyone's heard it
before. It was a
before.
great song. Yeah. People love it.
It's one of my favorite songs as well. And when I found out that I would get to collab with him, I was like, because I always saw him on TikTok and like getting to work with him was so amazing and it's like a dream come true getting to like work with people that I've seen on screen like you, like getting to see you in real life is so crazy to me as well.
So any other people that you want to collaborate with?
Definitely.
Oh, we heard you are an ARMY?
Yes, I'm an
so
ARMY.
Maybe like particular member from BTS?
I love all the members because during my training process, I think BTS was played a huge part in getting me through it. They contributed so much positive energy to me and so much inspiration to me. And I wanted to I still want to work hard like they do. So all 7 of them are my favorites.
If you have to pick one.
If I have to pick one,
Yeah.
I think it would be either Jungkook or Taehyung, which is B. Yeah, because they just released their albums. I haven't gotten myself a physical copy yet. I should probably buy one.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about your new single.
For sure.
Yeah. ZiGZaG.
ZiGZaG.
Yeah.
Yay.
Any big plan for that in the future?
I'm very excited about ZiGZaG because like once I got to take a bigger step into the behind the scenes process of like song making and during the briefing of the production and everything, I found myself to really enjoy working behind the scenes. And I might want to work behind the scenes more in the future as well because it's like I get to really put a lot of elements of myself into the songs and into the visuals that come out for you guys to see. So everything you see is mostly like my thoughts and everybody's thoughts as well, like with my team and the people I work with. But with like the process is just very fun for me.
Yeah.
I love art.
Yay. Can you sing us like a line or two from
Of course.
ZiGZaG? Yeah.
Whoa! คำนี้ดี Yeah, I'm a zigzag, still I like to chit chat. Baby, tell me bad, maybe 'cause I'm better. Yeah, I'm a zigzag, still I like to chit chat. Tell me, miss you did that, maybe 'cause I'm better. I know batter isn't a word.
I know, but it rhymes.
But actually, like me and Pitoy had a discussion that like batter isn't a word, but we're gonna make it a word. Yeah. So now it's officially a word, everyone.
Yeah. Use more. Use more
Use it
batter.
Yeah, if someone corrects you to worse, no, just say Ali made you say it.
Have you encountered in real life the same situation as in this song?
Oh, have I? I've seen it happen a lot. I'm always the love advisor in my friend group.
Okay.
I love being POI Pichot because I love watching and listen. I love watching POI Pichot as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's very cool. They're like, "ว่ายังไงคะวันนี้?" like stuff like that. I want to have my own microphone. So I feel great to be one of the love advisors in my friend group, but I've seen it happen a lot and it upsets me so much. Like I get so mad for my friends. I'm like, why don't you just stop talking to him? And then my friend's like, no, but he might just be like unsure with me. And I'm like, yeah, I get very mad for my friends.
Yeah. And a lot of people might say, you might be one of the best love advisors, but you suck in real life. Like when it comes to your own love story, you suck.
I think
you can't stop yourself either.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be me. Cause like honestly, one of the things that I believe in is like พูดง่ายแต่ทำไม่ง่าย
Yeah, พูดง่ายทำยากเนอะ
Yeah, พูดง่ายทำยาก Like it's easy to say for you when you're not in my spot, but when you're in my spot, of course, there's like other, other possibilities that can happen. Maybe
you have all this wisdom to share. But
maybe it's like not the same exact situation your friend is thinking. You know the person better than your friend.
Yeah.
It's always the same excuses.
Right.
Yeah. To all my friends out there. No, but it's okay. I understand them because I just warn them as a friend, like from a third party perspective.
Yeah, sure.
But honestly, I want my friends to be happy. If they're happy, then I'm super grateful.
Yeah.
But once I see if they're getting treated badly, then I'll start being like very mad. And then I'll start telling them to like, hey, do a second check. Please.
Maybe that's your next song, like
Second check.
That's
Ooh.
nice. That is nice.
I got my album name and my second single
we can't
name.
wait. Just credit me somewhere on your album. I would love to be on your album cover.
Of course.
All right. Anything else you want to do besides singing?
Many things.
Because you've tried acting.
I only acted for a very little part though. It was basically เจนขวัญตอนเด็ก which is like พี่ยาย่า character as well ใช่ค่ะ in น้องพี่ที่รัก you can go watch it.
Yeah.
It's
and did you
very
have
fun
and do you want to do more?
Yes, of course. I think acting is very different from being like on camera during music videos. Because like music videos, it's like there's music to like build up your confidence. There's makeup and hair that's very like เวอร์วังอลังการ like very you know wow factor.
Different kind of acting.
Yeah. It's like acting is very different. And after being on set for Nong Pitilak, I got to realize that it's nothing like Kosana or music video. It's like you're there in the moment, but you're not you. You're somebody else, but like how are you somebody else? It's just like with a snap of a finger, you're thinking like another person. You're doing things that you would never do. So I would love to try acting. I would also like to be a DJ one day.
Ooh. Wow. Okay, why?
Because I love these types of microphones.
Oh, okay. All right. I think you make a great DJ.
I don't know.
Maybe like your own like love advice show.
Maybe. I think people would hate me though.
Yeah. Why?
Because like I would just.
You'll be too blunt to them. You'll
I'll
be
be
too
direct.
direct.
I'm too blunt sometimes.
Okay.
Because many people come to me for love advice. Well, not a lot of people. I'm exaggerating like way too much.
Okay.
I just want people to trust me. But my friends, like, our friend group is like maybe 6-7 people, but I'm always either the Cupid or the love advisor.
Okay.
Like, I'm the one who tells my friends to DM that person that they like, and I'm the ones thinking of the pickup line and what to say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm always like, hey, you should say this. Maybe like take them here.
Yeah.
Go on a date here.
Yeah.
And then actually, I don't know if I can say this. I can. I'm not telling my friend's name.
Okay.
One of my friends actually got a girlfriend. Yeah.
Wow.
Because like that day I told him to send her a
Because you
DM.
being the Cupid for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, just DM her. And he was like, no. And I was like, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it. So he was like, okay, fine. And then...
Yeah.
So
it worked out well.
จ้างได้นะคะ
อยู่ๆกลายเป็นธุรกิจขึ้นมา That's a business talk. Okay.
Cupid.
All right. So maybe we get to see like more from you, like different stuff from you in the future, and we can't wait for you to get there and for us to like be with you and appreciate whatever you do and put out there
Hopefully
for
next
us to
year.
enjoy. All right. So thank you so much for coming. It's
Thank you
been
so
a
much.
great conversation, and please come back if you have time in
Of
the future.
course. I will definitely come back.
Okay. Good luck on your music too.
Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ